What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to a very special episode for the Respect the Game podcast, doing our first live episode on IG Live. Thank you to everybody. Now, shout out to our boy Justin, our brother Justin, and shout out to everybody in the future. We're probably going to get on here in a few. My name is Edward, named after a Trill OG, that being my pops. Shout out to my mother and my grandmother for helping raise me too. As always, please make sure you're following at Emax Stats for all your up-to-date high school, pro, and collegiate sports coverage. Will not disappoint. And please also make sure you go follow our podcast page, Respect the Game. And as always, what is a podcast without your brethren? Kyrie, what's goody, man?
It's the one and only. This is Black Peace, the host with the most that blows the most smoke. Be sure to go check out Talkin Smoke on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get the dope podcast from. That's where you can find your boy at. Yeah, man, let's go.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is I, the one and only Sedacious Executive Miles. And on behalf of me and my brothers, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you so much for listening and supporting. We really appreciate it. We don't take it for granted. We love you. Take it away, bro. Let's do it.
Let's get it, man. Also, too, I know right now it looks like we're not at full strength, but our brother Sean Hart should be on momentarily, man. But without further ado, let's get to it. Bittersweet. The NBA season is slowly but surely coming to an end. Nonetheless, the NBA Finals are getting ready to kick off on Thursday. So, I mean, some people have had the Warriors since the beginning. I know, Sedacious, you fell off the Warrior train because you didn't like the bandwagoners, and then when they went on their two-year hiatus of not really getting to the playoffs,
I was back with them.
Came back because you felt like, okay, the coast is clear. I can be a true Warriors fan and get all the bandwagoners out of here. So y'all made it back to the promised land. Darnell, I know you say Jason Tatum is somebody you really like in the league, and I know you're a high proponent for team basketball. So, I mean, whoever wants to take it first, who do y'all think wins this series?
Dub Nation. What are you talking about? It's not a question. Dub Nation. We finna come get a nothing without KD to let y'all know it was real the whole time. Stop playing with us. Or stop playing with them, because, you know what I'm saying, I'm really Laker Nation, but my boys didn't make the playoffs, so, you know, I got to be Dub Nation, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no. The Golden State Warriors, I got winning the finals, and I got them winning in 6, simply because I think they will outmatch the Celtics, and it's just going to be what it is, man. Steph Curry is going to show that he's a killer, you know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson is going to show that he's a killer. Draymond Green, he going to hold it down in the paint, and like old days Warriors, man.
Who you got?
I'm going to say it's going to be Golden State, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be a 7-game series because, I mean, Boston, they're not giving up that easy. They've been showing that all through the playoffs. They've been showing that throughout the season. At one point, I believe they were quote me, 11th seed, kind of like not even in the mix, and then they bounced all the way up to the number 2 seed. So for them just to persevere throughout the season, persevere through the playoffs, you know, I'm still going with Golden State because they're just way too loaded. But I don't see the Celtics going less than 7 games. It's going to be a full series. But Golden State, I believe, is going to pull it off because from the experience, the firepower, and just Splash Brothers, man.
Yeah, I want to get all the way out there in the street and be the man that's got to eat his words at the end of the day. If the Celtics do pull it out, I don't care. My chips is pushed all the way in on Golden State, and I know I'm not an expert analyst and all of that, but you know, you heard it here is what I'm saying. You heard it here first.
So 2 different ways, right? So you got the Boston Celtics. Nobody on their roster has Nathaniel bit of NBA Finals experience for the majority of their career. The past couple years, they've made it to the finals, but the Eastern Conference Finals, but end up losing. And so I'm like, do you just like take the wisdom of the Warriors and just be like, hey man, let's just like ride off and like that's the easy bet. Or Darnell, you talking about the game seven? I struggle with some people's prediction of a game seven because I feel like that's like a gentleman's like not saying specifically you, but I feel like for some people a game seven prediction is like a gentleman's cop out to be like, yeah, I don't really know. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's gonna happen in 6.
Yeah, so I said this. I felt like if the Boston Celtics really had championship pedigree, really had championship DNA in them, I feel like they would have took care of business on their home court at Game 6. I just feel like to like truly be like, all right, we're gonna handle business, get this out the
Here
way.
it comes.
This team shouldn't be like even close to us. We're gonna handle business. They did not do that. Right? They did not do that. And for me that just left a bad taste in my mouth because I just feel like, yo, like y'all can't give away games in the NBA finals. Like y'all can't give away games in the playoffs. Thankfully, y'all defense dug deep. Thankfully, collectively, y'all were a great team. What up, Kurt? What up, Kurt? But
Hey, my boy.
I question their mental toughness going into this series against the Golden State Warriors. I'm not really thinking about the X's and O's. I'm not really thinking about, too much of the game plan. One of the things about the finals that most NBA players will tell you is that like it really comes down to we know what you're gonna do, y'all know what we gonna do. Head to head, mano y mano, like who is gonna blink first. And I think that really truly comes down to mental toughness. And I would pretty much just land on the Warriors to have that mental toughness and pull out this another championship for Dub Nation against the Celtics overall. Though I would love to see the Celtics win, but I don't hope. What I hope happen, what I think is I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I think the Warriors are going to have that mental toughness over the Boston Celtics. But we have full strength. Our brother Sean Hart is over here. Sean Hart, who you got rocking in the series, bro?
Big brother Iron Man tapping in. Excuse
I'm
my
gonna say,
tardiness, gentlemen.
let my boy get his roll off.
Man, pissed off. Decided to roll my money up and smoke it in a nice wood tonight on the WNBA. I'm very heated about that, so I'm gonna just act as though nothing is going on. But it's all a part of respecting the game. But I, I ain't gonna lie, but
My
pissed
boy
me
hurt.
off. But that's one of the shit I
My boy hurt.
Hey, look, man, he was like,
I'm
we was
hot.
waiting on you. He was like, yo, what is he doing? I didn't say that, but in the back of my head, I'm like, he probably looking to see if them stats keep updating tonight.
$100 boy out there too, boy. I ain't lying.
Ooh.
I'm
A
sorry.
10 for 4, a 10 for 4, or $100 power play.
Come on, man. Band-Aids. Big bandages.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Chances make champions, man.
But
Jeez.
as far as my picks for the finals, man, like R. Kelly said, man, my mind is telling me no. You know what I'm saying? But something within me just want to say yes to the young, scrappy Celtics in the defense. Jason Tatum leading the way on both sides of the floor. I really want to say, if I had to lean with somebody, I probably would lean Warriors, but this is kind of like picking both sides. I would not be surprised if the Celtics surprise somebody, and not even in 7 games, possibly like within 6 games. I just think they have the perfect matchup for the Warriors in regards to just matching up at all 5 positions, right? You got the defensive player of the year in Marcus Smart, who will primarily probably be on, Steph Curry. Not saying Marcus Smart is going to lock up Steph Curry. We obviously know that, but Steph Curry is unfortunately known for, coming up pretty small in the finals. So if any of that transpires, I think the door is left open for, Boston to potentially maybe, walk through it. So I'm a lean Warriors, but my body might be telling me, Boston. I don't
I
know.
feel that. I know I said that I'm leaning more towards the mental toughness, but if I did have to try to evaluate the X's and O's of the game, right, one of the things that I noticed with the Warriors, right, in their road to the finals, you play Denver, right? Jokic doesn't have any help, but he averages 30 ball, right? Then y'all beat them in 5. You play Memphis. Ja averages 38, only played 3 games, but without him, they were still able to push it 6, right? Then you play Dallas. Everybody says, it's just Luka. He's there by himself. Luka averages 32 against the Warriors, who is the highest or tied with the Boston Celtics for highest defensive rating, right? And so you have these players from each team who is able to average 30, but the common denominator is like they don't have enough help or they don't have enough talent to like override the Warriors. And I look at the Boston Celtics and I'm like, well, Jason Tatum could easily average 30 against y'all. And then on top of that, the Boston Celtics also had the help to back up Jason Tatum, ascending and having a monster series. So from that standpoint, Jason Tatum taking the extra step, playing out of his mind, and then having the help, having the pieces to be able to back him up. I think that could also lend to Isaac not being surprised that the Boston Celtics could possibly pull this out against the Golden State Warriors. And also, too, like, what if the Golden State Warriors just kind of come in there flat and cocky like we've been here before, thinking like the Warriors going to lay down? We could possibly see that.
Man, I'm not going to lie to you. With Draymond Green, with all that front range that he was pulling, and we're going, we going to get Boston for the finals. We about to get Boston. Be careful for what you ask for, what you think you may be predicting, because you could be predicting yourself into an ass whooping and you not knowing it. Because really, I take that as, though we think Boston going to win, we actually want Boston in regards to the matchup. And I think, like, man, your boy JT texting Cole, rest in peace before games, and he wearing sleeves. He keep up that type of behavior. Who's to say, what can happen? So, like I say, Steph Curry is notoriously known for, giving you what you don't need right when you need it the most, right? So it's like, hey man, I'm eager to see, because people always talk about, well, Steph Curry legacy and this, that, how is his legacy going to be affected if he wins his 4th? How does he stack up to LeBron James? I think the question should be, let Steph Curry lose this championship. Then what are we saying? And I don't think that's been talked about at all. Because I think if he loses this, I don't think I want to hear about top 10 ever. Yeah, greatest shooter ever for sure. I got you, but top 10 ever? I don't know. I'm not saying he's not top 10, but I don't know. Lose this one, it's a debate.
Sedacious, I see you got the evil grin for all the Warrior fans who are listening on the live right now. How would you speak for yourself as well as Dub Nation and talking about, does Stephen Curry need a Finals MVP to cement his legacy, or if he loses this series, barring injury, of course, does that strip away of his killer badge?
No, it don't. It's already cemented. It's already done. It's already over with. The greatest, what I was saying, the greatest shooter ever. Top 10, that might be debatable. I still think that's debatable now. Like, I don't.
Absolutely.
Right, so, but his legacy for me is always going to be the greatest shooter ever. And that's cemented already, and that's not going nowhere. And no, I don't think nobody's worried about that.
I think he mean like in comparison to other all-time great players, like where does he fall or where does he land if he wins or if he doesn't win?
Because like the narrative, right, that you're saying, Sedacious, like, okay, like when we talk about greats, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, the Shaqs, and so on and so forth, so like being great, being dominating fashion, being labeled like a high caliber winner. Obviously, 3 MVPs, three NBA championships. Who's going to say you're not a winner? But all I hear you keep saying is just like the best shooter ever. So when you thinking about Stephen Curry, or you just like slapping the label, okay, he's the best shooter ever, and we're going to put him over there, and then we're going to focus on everybody else. Like, is his legacy just solely based off being the best shooter ever, or is like there more to his legacy?
No, the best shooter ever who got some championships while he was being the best shooter ever. It's not gonna be. He's not gonna ever be talked about with the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordan, or the LeBrons, or the KDs. You know what I'm saying? He'll just be known to be the greatest shooter ever who got championships. At the end of the day, for me, I see him being like a Reggie Miller ×5 type, and what Reggie Miller was supposed to be. You know, he just ain't have the help of the team that Stephen Curry had. So we're not gonna ever say that. We're not gonna ever say that. You know, Stephen Curry solely won championships like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. We're not gonna ever say that.
In my eyes, he only got one legitimate championship, and I feel like Steph Curry and KD will be forever tied at the hip in regards to, damn, I need you, you need me, we all one big family type vibe going on.
Trying to beat Lebanon.
Yeah, it was like we had to literally create arguably the best regular season team of all time in order to beat this one man. Right? Mm-hmm. That'll forever be your legacy, right? Yeah, KD, you came over there, 2 finals MVP, 2, big shots in game 5 or whatever to, seal the deal, or game 4, or game 3 shots, I believe. He hit some dagger shots in game 3 that just kind of put a nail in the series. But I'm not going to lie to you, especially if Kevin Durant doesn't win another one, it will forever be said, especially if Steph Curry doesn't win in the series with, Boston this upcoming Thursday. I think it will forever be said, did Steph Curry need Kevin Durant in order to win multiple titles? And then I think the narrative switches from, okay, is he top 10 ever, or is Steph Curry a legitimate, multi, whatever champion, or is he just more so a recipient of, KD being that greatest offensive threat in this generation, and then you add that to an already potent system, that the Warriors had in place. So, man, it's a lot of shit on the line, man. Especially I feel like for Steph and inadvertently, right, Kevin Durant, because I don't think LeBron James' legacy gonna be affected at all. It should,
but I don't think we put respect on that championship that he won with Harrison Barnes. I don't think we put enough respect on that championship because that was a young team, and they went and got that one. You know what I'm saying? He led the way. So
Kyrie and Kevin Love got hurt.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think people are really gonna care. I only think I think it's the haters of those players right now that are diminishing their legacy right now. Because if you look back at it, does KG get criticized? Does Ray Allen get criticized? Not at all. They get actually, glorified for what they did. And they were in the same position. Oh, do you need this? Do you need that? No, he'd be around good players to win. It is sometimes it looks like this and it looks like that. It's like, I think the same thing happened to Jordan. He always felt like, oh, Jordan didn't have that team. But once he retired and the haters start dying off and stop caring as much, start, giving to the real, there's like, dude, he's just great, bro. They look at his stats, they look at his highlights, they look at the reels, like, bro, he's great. And I think that's going to happen to KD, Steph. Even if he does lose this finals, which I highly doubt personally, just looking at the facts, it wouldn't matter. I don't think it's going to matter. It may matter in a
Boston is a top defensive team in the league, with the defensive player of the year, with everybody within their starting lineup getting a vote for all defense. I think that's something to be said.
What about that offense? What the offense do?
If Jason Tatum,
that's my thing with Boston. That's what kills me.
Like, for sure, because they can get stagnant on offense. But if Jason Tatum give me 2 to 3 great all-time great games this series, I think that could be more than enough, because I feel like that defense will stifle enough to where, again, Steph Curry ain't been your 30, 40 point per game guy in the finals. So if Steph Curry is just slightly above average, I think the Warriors leave the door almost all the way open for anything to happen.
I don't know. So this is the biggest window they've
I
had
don't
time
know
to
about
prepare
that.
against an opponent.
I don't know about that.
One of the biggest windows they've
I
had.
don't know if
So
I
I mean,
trust
like,
Jonathan Kuminga off the bench. And Jordan Poole ain't never been there. Yeah, Jordan Poole been having a outstanding playoffs, and he been having a pool party, breakout party. It's been cool, but at the same time, from in regards to a well-rounded game on offense and defense, I think I trust Grant Williams and Derek White a little more than I do Jordan Poole and Kuminga.
Yeah, I think with with
Wiggins?
Grant and what you call
Wiggins
it,
ain't coming off the bench. I'm
they
talking about bench players.
stars. Yeah, they're stars in their role. You talk about Grant and Derek, whereas
Right.
Jordan, he's a star in his role, but it's just like I don't like Grant and them. They could be stars by solely some assists and a handful of rebounds, game time rebounds. Whereas like Poole, yeah, we need you to come with like a 15 clip. Like, we're gonna need that 15 up out you. You know what I'm saying? If Clay not going off or Steph isn't going off. With that question, who do y'all think has like the better bench going into this playoff series?
I think it's kind of equal, honestly. I don't think there's no. I think it's even the starter firepower. That's where the Warriors went out because I feel like their starters can do more production faster than the Boston Celtics can, i.e., Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart.
Maybe
I
outside.
think they can comfortably play better than them. I'll just say it like that.
So the Warriors, they do, running off the ball, screens here and there. Maybe outside of Robert Williams. I mean, like, let's not forget, right? These guys, I'm not saying they did the greatest job, but like, it don't get no more difficult, I think, than having to guard. What's good, Dave? Than having to guard Giannis. So like, obviously they didn't have your boy Middleton, but like, if you could weather the Giannis storm, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jimmy Butler, he had his highs and lows, so you didn't have to, go too crazy with that there, right? It's like, okay, we like Steph, Clay, yeah, the pool party, we can respect that, but we can kind of manage that if it's coming off the bench, you know what I'm saying? And let's not forget about Wiggins too. But I'm just saying, I think the Boston Celtics, as a complete team, has the most, not even just firepower on offense to potentially match the Warriors, but also to be able to keep up with them in their offense and defending them. If you want to do the switches, JT could switch. Marcus Smart, defensive player of the year, obviously he could switch. Jaylen Brown could switch. Al Horford could give you a little bit of help. He can. And then
Robert Williams, first
down
team
there,
all defense. He can
you know what I'm saying, like defending the post. So while I think everybody's going into this series think it's going, maybe like the typical or like the casual fan probably think it's going to be like raining threes the entire series or whatever. Don't sleep on the Boston Celtics like defense. Like they didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like they had a tougher road to the finals than the Warriors did. So yeah.
We're gonna see game one.
I do see that. I do see the fact that Boston's defense not defense, but just as a team kind of struggled to contain players that didn't have a lot of firepower. They didn't abuse their firepower. They abused Jimmy Butler. They abused Kevin Durant. Who was the other one? They abused Giannis. They didn't. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have
abuse is
a variety of players.
About Giannis. I don't know if they abuse Giannis. Giannis dropped 40 and 15 a couple times.
That's what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying. That's like those players are like
I'm just saying,
doing all they can by themselves.
A lot.
Well, they just kept using one player. I say it like that, plain and simple. And it's just like, look at it like, well, yeah, exactly. And it seemed like they were towards the end. The more they played, the more they just seemed like they were in a hard time stopping it. It's like, bro, Laurie's not going off. Adebayo's switch is iffy. You know, it's just like
His fat chubby ass. He another person who's smoking money on my line, bro. Fadeless next year.
Who you talking about?
that's
McCall
Bam,
Lowry, he
Oh, Kyle
talking
Lowry.
about in the press conference. The whole season is a failure if we didn't get to the final. Bro, you won one funky ass championship because of Kawhi Leonard. And now you talking about the whole season is a failure if you don't get back. Well, score more than 14 points.
Giannis averaged 33, 14, and 7 against the Celtics. But nonetheless, they were able to weather that storm.
What?
They were able. It was good.
They still abused him,
Shout out
though.
White College, man. It was good.
Right, abusing.
Yeah, they were
Terry
able to
O.
weather that storm, man. So and like here's the thing, right? When it goes back to talking about Stephen Curry, right? Obviously, yeah, we know Game 6 Clay, but like if history has shown us anything, let's not act like Stephen Curry is going like 5 for 8 from 3. Like Isaac said, when you need him to do what he do the most is when he give you what you don't need. So we could be 1 or 2 bad shooting nights away of Stephen Curry to the Boston Celtics being a championship. You know, winning the championship.
1 or 2 nights of Stephen Curry bad shooting.
That hasn't happened before in the playoffs. In the NBA Finals.
Bro, that's not today's Steph Curry.
Okay.
That is yet to be seen. We'll see.
Yet to.
Okay.
I mean, you saw what they did to Kevin Durant. So
that's the headline right there.
Do we think Steph Curry is a better player than Kevin Durant?
They need to solidify the dynasty for real without Kevin Durant. And they're gonna do it this year.
Let's see.
Now, the NBA is a little rigged, so they could be building the Warriors up to be big and bad for David to come and slay the giant. I can see that narrative happening too. I'm you know what I'm saying, if that happens, so be it. Like I said, I'm all the way out there in the street to say that the Warriors will take this hands down. It's in 6 at least. And if I'm wrong, okay, I was wrong. But I'm gonna be a conspiracy guy if I am wrong.
2 fun facts that have nothing to do with nothing, or maybe they do, depending on how y'all, the viewers, feel about it.
Hey, Justice.
I thought that was Justice. What's good, Justice? The last time Kendrick Lamar dropped the album, I don't know if y'all seen it, the Warriors won the championship. However, the last time a Top Gun movie was released, the Celtics won the championship. In the same year.
What up, Slim?
So we'll see which one weighs out. So the Warriors, 123 games of experience amongst the players currently on their roster. The Boston Celtics absolutely 0. How much value or stock are y'all putting into the playoff, or not even the playoffs, the NBA Finals experience? How much stock are y'all putting into that for the we'll start off with the Celtics.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm putting a lot of stock into it because you don't know what you don't know, right? Like if you haven't been before, it's hard to kind of gauge, what that back and forth is gonna be like, what that intensity is gonna be like. Though one can imagine and just be, balls to the wall, 48 minutes a game, but you don't know what it's like to be in those moments if you've never been in them. So I would say, the Warriors definitely have a slight advantage. Well, a huge advantage there, being that they've been in, 6 finals out of the last 8 years, I believe. So, but
that's what I'm thinking on.
I think it's a little different this time around because you have a formidable opponent with the number 1 ranked defense since the All-Star break. And I think it's something to be said. That defense has gotten them all the way up into the finals. And who's to say that, again, with that defense and then mix that with, a few good nights of you having, a good percentage shot from the field, who's to say that they can't get you through in 6 or 7 games, man? I think, Jason Tatum has a hell of a chance to submit his legacy early.
Yeah, 24 years old.
I'm gonna say that Steve Kerr outcoaches the
He made
the rookie finals coach, because
Ime Udoka is dating, or I think he married to Nia Long. So it's something to be said about that too, in regards to just coming to work every morning feeling like it. You know, I'm just saying, you can't underestimate that.
the woman on your arm does say a lot about you.
Come on, man, Steve Kerr. I ain't seen.
Steve Kerr took the coach's socks off. If you let me tell you.
Hey, somebody better be goddamn me blowing his socks off or something. In order for him, hey, all I'm saying is he made Udoka. He got a good situation, man.
Yeah, so he's a rookie to the finals. So I feel like he at least needs to get that first little spanking, and then he might bring Boston later on in the years to come.
However, don't forget about this. He came up under the grandfather, the OG Greg Pop.
Yeah. I get it. But in the finals, you got to be in here. Once you get in here, it's a different ballgame. That's just how. Hey. And the team that's got the finals experience as well, because it's a different format in the finals. I think it's 1-3 or 2-3-2. I don't know. Yeah, 2-3-2. It's not 2-2-2-2. Whatever.
I thought it was 2-2-1-1-1-1, something like that.
No, it's 2 games, and then it's 3 games.
It used to be 2-3-2, but last
Also,
year
it's 2-2 now.
This year, I think it's 2-2-1-1-1.
Oh,
yeah, it is.
Oh,
Somewhat of a level playing field.
That might shake shit up for both of them.
I mean,
I think the 2-3-2 is a lot better.
7.
I don't know. I think it made it more competitive that way.
I still think those are both tough places to win. In the Garden in Boston, and then you got, the Chase Center. Them Warriors fans, they're gonna be rocking. So, and don't let them threes get to falling early. It could get ugly early. As far as just getting the crowd all the way into it.
Yeah, did Miami take 2 games in TD?
Yeah, they took 2 and 6, I believe, or 1 and 6.
That sounded pretty promising.
No, they couldn't have took 1 and 6 because those was at Miami. But yeah, I know they took at least maybe it was 3 and 6. How would y'all rank maybe a top 5, 10 if you want to go that far? How would y'all rank the most important players in this playoff series? Who was more
1 through
important
5?
to the team? I'll start off that. Who was more important to their team and winning the championship? Jason Tatum or Stephen Curry?
I would say Jason Tatum, due to the fact that if he is out, you undoubtedly don't have a chance of winning, right? But
what he said,
if Steph Curry were to go out, one can say that there's optimism that, okay, damn, well, can Clay, can he dig deep? Can he find something? Can Jordan Poole? Baby Kobe JT.
Baby Kobe JT.
I told y'all.
But also this, we just saw Steph and what was that against Golden State? Against Golden State, Denver. Like, he came off the bench for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think no JT. Yeah, I think it'll probably be a cakewalk. Knock on wood. Hopefully there's no injury discrepancies with anybody. This will be a fun stat to look up. But like players, they get a certain amount of points and stuff like that with like technical fouls and so on and so forth. So I think it's always left up to question for like Draymond Green to like self-implode. So that's something to look out. Hopefully he don't get ejected, or him and Marcus Smart battling. God, I don't know. We may have to run that technical foul bit back, Darnell, on who's going to be the first to get a tech between them two, or maybe get a tech for flopping. So yeah, man. But yeah, okay.
I'll tell you right now, give the Dre off rip.
Draymond.
Sure. It's certain players when they get technical fouls, bro. It ain't even about like being physical. It's about getting the team in a certain mindset. So
check him out.
And it's Draymond all day.
I
Like,
feel you. Shit,
he'll get kicked out the game if you have to. Marcus Smart does it off of physicality and just
he'll get suspended from going too.
And that's what you were saying, Edward, about you think the Warriors will come in too high and mighty. I think Draymond kind of like make sure that they don't have that big head. Like make sure that they know, y'all, we still got to be dogs. We still got to be dogs. We still got to be animals. That's how I feel.
I don't
think he keeps them humble. I just think he keep them locked in regards to just keeping up the intensity game round.
Yeah.
Nigga ain't telling nobody to be humble.
I think it's intertwined. I think both.
After Steph and JT, who are those next ranking players most important to this series?
I gotta go with Darnell, bro.
I gotta go Jalen and then Clay. Like if Clay can have one of them series where you like, man, damn, that's just too good. Like, ain't nothing you can do about that. If he go to that realm, if he go to that world to where he just game 6 Clay a multiple of games throughout the season, throughout the series, I think at that point it becomes okay. This was a little too much than we bargained for. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because if Clay got it going, I have yet to see a team stay in that rain. Like I haven't seen that.
You can't stay in that rain.
Man, if he get hot like that, bro, it's over with. It's gonna be curtains early.
It's gonna be that. Early. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna like Clay's like, is he back? He's kind of back. He's kind of showing that he's back. Maybe I feel like this, Klay Thompson, you in the finals, bro. Like everybody was talking about if you back, if you not back, you in the finals. This is the biggest stage of them all. And if he got any kind of mindset that we got, the biggest stage, if he got a mindset like Edward, a mindset like Sean Hart, a mindset like Black Peace, a mindset like myself, the biggest stage, I'm sorry, I don't see it going no other way. I don't.
I can't be mad at you for having faith in like Game 6 Clay. I don't think nobody could be mad at you for that.
What's up, B Val?
And if you don't ball out again, I will eat all these words. Thankfully, honestly.
Hey, what if Clay does not show up? What does that do for his career?
I ain't gonna
say he's out.
Bro.
Does that mean he's done?
Clay not showing up, I can't really fathom personally.
Come on, man. Thank you.
But would that mean he's done?
But
though?
Steph not showing up, I can see that being possible.
I've seen that movie before a couple times.
What about both? What about if both of them show up? Have y'all seen that? Y'all seen that show, right?
I haven't seen that movie before. Not in the finals.
That's a ring. That's a ring.
Not in the finals.
But not in the, but like you said, not in the finals.
Because here's the thing, though, Dacius, right? So, like, we've had the Jason Tatum conversation just in terms of, like, you feel like he's perfectly woven into a good system. He doesn't really show you those games of, like, I'm rallying the troops. Like, hey, come on. Like, y'all on my back tonight. Like, we specifically, right? So, yeah, we had the conversations about, the playoffs is the way you earn your fame, so on and so forth. But there's a different level of fame that comes with your reputation in the finals. And thus far, as we talk about Stephen Curry, he has been perfectly woven into the team when it's time to get to the NBA Finals. It's not like he outright in the front. He'd be like, "Yo, that's the guy." Yo, like without him, like this game could we would have not been here. So like I feel like you're talking more so off anticipation and like what he's shown you over the years, and you have like an astronomical amount of faith in him. Granted, understandable, But you know what I'm saying? Like I know we all H-Town born and raised, you know, Texas plates showing up in your state, don't hate. But I mean, tonight we gonna what is it, Missouri or
Well,
Mississippi?
rapper.
We're gonna be from the show me state tonight. Like it's just gonna
How many top 75 players in the finals this year?
huh?
How many top 75 players, NBA 75 in the finals this year?
Okay, should be two, but
Should be
apparently it's
two.
only one.
And
I ain't
I
gonna
think
lie, but when it's all said
Clay
and done, though,
was in the top 75.
nah, bro. When it's all said and done, though, Jason Tatum would be on that list. And when they rework it on the 100th year,
Yeah.
JT will be
But
on it, and Clay will be
Yeah.
on it.
JT only
Add
24
25.
and in the league 5 years, so I mean,
Yeah, he'll be on the 100.
If Clay ain't top 100,
Right.
they just doing it wrong. I don't know
hey,
what
do y'all
I
think
don't know what to
Iguodala gonna
say.
come back off the bench after resting for so long and come back and get the MVP again?
He's old, bro. He's wild. Oh, that's funny as fuck. You know, man. Oh, Andre, man. I just think his time done came and gone, man. His time has come and gone. He's old.
Ooh.
He really
Oh,
just trying to ride it out for that one last championship just to say he got one. But really, after this year, man, I see him retiring because I just think the injuries done just really caught up to him. But nah, man, none of that Andre Iguodala 2015 shit, man. Shockingly, that was 7 years ago, man. It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
that was hot 7.
I think
Hot 7.
I personally think that the Miami Heat, they gave away the blueprint, I think, in terms of trying to contain Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Like, play zone on him when he gets the ball, you know, on the wing, off the screen, blitz him, make him come off the ball and be a playmaker. Like, we'll take you having assists on us versus erupting for 35 on us. And so I feel like
50. 50.
50. I mean, JT got a 50-point game in the playoffs.
Against the Nets.
Yeah, against
Last
a Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden Nets. No, I don't think that was easy to do. But
I mean, they don't play defense like that.
but despite the defense that they were playing on him, he was still able to average 23. So I want to say what 23, 6, and 5. So I guess you could say that's a fair containment for the type of defense that they were playing on him. I feel like they gave the Warriors the blueprint on how to play Jason Tatum, and in terms of trying to force the others to beat him. But outside of that, like, is there any particular game plan that y'all kind of foresee or anticipating from either the Golden State Warriors or from the Boston Celtics to try to win this championship?
I think they're going. I think they're going to blitz Steph, and I think they're going to just say, "Hey, Clay, are you that nigga or aren't you? Can you beat us, right?" And then it's like, and then can the others, like you said, can we make open shots? Can we make timely shots? But Steph, yeah, bro, no Finals MVP, not this year again. We don't have to think about giving that to somebody else. Jordan Poole, where you at? Clay, where you at? This your chance to submit your, top 75 case right here. Take over when Steph get blitzed off the catch, 2 steps past half court. Because if I'm Ime Udoka, I mean, why not? Shit, force Clay to be great.
Yeah, force him to be great. Yeah. Real quick correction: JT averaged 25, 8, and 5 against the Heat. 25, 8, and 5. I said 23. He averaged 25, 8 rebounds, 5 assists against the Heat. But yeah.
Who else giving you buckets like that? I think the game plans are similar. I think stop the score and let the rest of the team beat you. But I believe still that on the back end, you still have Klay Thompson, which is something very dangerous to play with. And I don't think the Boston has nothing on the back end that's that dangerous.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Jaylen Brown got to be a bona fide second option. He got to
play
I
like
don't
he
think
like.
I wouldn't say Batman and Robin, but I'm gonna need some shit. I was gonna say Bobby and Whitney, but
I
I
think you
need
need Jalen to average at least 22 for you in this series, at least.
what's the
Like,
deal, Key?
you gonna need
I
Jalen.
totally agree with that.
Yeah, you're gonna need him to average 22 in the event that the game plan is Jason Tatum. You're not gonna beat us. I ain't saying he's capable of it, Gabriel. I'm just saying that's what you need for him.
Hey
I mean,
man, quick shout out on the pod, man. Want to give shout out to my dog, man. Need No Name, one of the hottest upcoming rappers out of Houston, man. Y'all go check him out, man. Putting this shit on, man. Turning this shit up, man. Shout out to Key, man. Need No
Hey.
Name.
respect.
Huh?
We haven't
Nah,
talked about
Warriors,
him. We haven't really talked
Warriors
about
at 6.
huh?
Warriors at 6.
Warriors and six. We haven't talked about him. We talked about Clay. We talked about JT, Jalen, Steph, the bench. But what type of impact or role are y'all foreseeing for Andrew Wiggins? This is the biggest stage he ever been on as well.
He's in the best position he's ever been in. Also, he's the third to fourth. So he's actually the fourth. Like I said this in the beginning of the podcast. He's in the perfect position, which is the third slot. Now he's in the fourth slot, which is no pressure. He can go off when he feels like it. He can chill when he feels like it. And that's that extra edge that they have, man. You got a player that can, when he really feels like, can go off for 25 points. And on a bad day, go for 10. And everybody will be okay if he with those numbers.
I'm
And
not
10
gonna lie. I'm not gonna be okay. Like you got to. It's nah, bro. I need that.
But you got Jordan Poole putting up 20. You got Curry
Not
putting
every
up possibly
not every
25.
game though. Look at Boston's defense coming off the bench, bro. I don't think Jordan Poole is gonna be. I don't think it's
He's
gonna be a
not gonna
full
be under
part of
that
that
like this.
offense
He's not.
during this series. I don't. He
better
better than
than
Barnes for sure.
I think he's
He way better than Harrison Barnes. But I just think Celtics got the recipe in regards to their team defense or what they're gonna do. You know, overall, just
even as
in
a
regards
second
to
unit.
staying connected, talking, communicating on a backside help, rotating quick, getting out to shooters, double teaming when need be, kicking out of zone and kicking the man. Switching players because they also can switch as well, just like Golden State can. So I think
okay.
it's
10 is a bit brash.
I mean, hey, I get the point you was trying to make. I get the point you was trying to make.
Who's gonna score points?
24 to 14. Yeah, 14, 15. Yeah, 15. I live with that.
I mean, and let's not act like some people may try to kill me, but it's Clay could sometimes be a little iffy out there, depending still trying to work himself way back. Like I say again, not gonna
There you
worry.
go.
No
There
injury.
you go.
Y'all said working way back, man. This man done been back 6,
Bro,
7 months.
I hope it's raining cats and dogs for you today.
Me too.
Cool.
I hope the Splash Brothers can't be the Splash Brothers. This going around.
Yeah, Clay is averaging 19 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in the playoffs.
Percentage.
I like that 19. That's a good 19.
I ain't gonna lie though, it's a
What's that
quiet
field goal
19
percentage hitting
though.
photo?
It's a field
It's
goal
a
percentage thus
it's a
far.
quiet 19.
Playoffs is 45% from the field, 40 from 3, 80 from the free throw.
What's Jaylen Brown? What's Jaylen Brown points?
Jaylen.
Very sneaky.
Jaylen Brown averaging about 22
What did I
these
just say?
playoffs.
What did I say? We
22?
need Jaylen Brown to average going into this series against the Warriors.
25?
22.
22.
He averaging 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists thus far in the playoffs.
I ain't gonna lie, I take that.
And in the 2 games, I don't really have the time to look and see who played or who didn't play. But in the 2 games against the Warriors this season, he averaged 23. So
We're gonna see what Jaylen Brown scored 22 points in one half and then scored 2 the next half.
appreciate the
So
love, Gayro. Appreciate you, bro.
I don't know.
Mr. Doug, happy belated, man. Happy belated.
Man, my boy need to join.
Brr.
Hey, is Pops a Warriors fan like you?
Oh yeah, he Dub Nation too.
Okay, like father, like son. I see. Like father, like son.
Nah, because he was
Dub
rocking.
Nation
KD
too.
Huh?
he was rocking
Right.
with him when KD was on there. I wasn't
Who else,
rocking with him.
who else a Warriors fan on here that I don't know about?
Hey, Mr. Doug, you can get on if you want to, man. Give us your Warriors NBA Finals prediction, NBA Finals take, man.
Hey,
I know
please
that's not what I know this,
plug.
but
Yeah, that's
he's horrible.
Wow, my butt, man.
I
Plug.
think
I
he
call that.
Yeah, no, I mean, any other viewers out there, man, if y'all want to join, y'all can come on, chop it up, kick it with us, talk. Oh, hold on. Yeah, done the other day. But y'all can get on, talk, man. We're about to wrap it up here in a little bit. But if you want to get your sports take documented, concrete, put out there to the universe, most certainly can feel free to request to join the live with us, man. Who wins final MVP for the Warriors?
Andrew
I
Wiggins.
ain't gonna lie.
What you say, Sedacious?
Wow.
Andrew Wiggins.
That's really
I
not
love
a
you for
long
that.
shot, bro. Because if you're talking about
I know
having
it's
to
not.
take step out the game and then Andrew Wiggins having to match up with JT and like possibly average 23, 25, you know what I'm saying? And you strapping down JT, that's not a far fetch. That's not far fetch.
Not at all.
But then the conversation we all know will go back to.
Steph Curry. Is he that
You
guy?
already know.
Steph Curry that guy.
Is he that nigga like y'all say he is?
You need an Andrew Wiggins to get you to the promised land, bro.
Bro, what about JT?
He don't have the experience. This is his first time getting it. JT will have to play absolutely like horrific. But like nobody they playing with house money, right? Nobody's gonna be mad at the Celtics for like losing this, like not winning the championship, unless like they just play complete. Unless JT plays completely horrific. They playing with house money. I feel like way more than the Golden State Warriors are. And so it's just like, yeah, bro, like the same narrative that like we use for other superstars or just other great players, because we don't have to harp on like superstar and just in terms of like, yo, you're supposed to be the man of your team. Why is this person carrying you? You're supposed to be the man of your team. Like, why is this person helping you? Like, how could that not be fairly equivalent to be the same question to pose to Stephen Curry?
Because he's a killer already. He's already known to be a murderer already.
Him being a killer and or a murderer has not been the beneficiary of them winning a championship.
Why not?
I
He's
don't.
Steph Curry all the time, bro. It's just y'all
Steph
talking
Curry is not a
times where he
killer.
had bad games.
Steph
But
Curry
bro,
is not a killer.
At the
He's
most
not a
pivotal
killer.
moment of like the season, he's had bad games, and that's considered
I
to
feel
be a
the poll
good.
coming. Is Steph Curry a killer or not?
No.
No, bro.
Leak the
Trash.
food. Shout out to you, man. Been following you at Arkansas, bro. Definitely humble beginners being able to
Everybody
cover
watching.
you way back at Austin High School, man. Love and respect, man. Mr. Joel, what's good, baby? I see you out here. Just so you know, every day, all day, it's gonna be Team Stringer. I know you probably gonna send me a text once you hear it. You know you laughing too. but yeah, man. So. Yeah, man. It's been a great episode. Thank everybody and their mama who tuned in to us. Definitely gonna try to make this consistent. I know our work schedules are kind of like all over the place. Chief, our work schedules all over the place, but I know we probably get a game Tuesday. I want to say next Tuesday, game 3, I believe. So I could be wrong about that, but definitely try to get in another live episode after.
Yeah, we got to keep putting
Right
this
after,
boy.
right after game 3, possibly, if I'm getting the schedule correct. But yeah, we're gonna get in some more live episodes throughout this NBA Finals season, and definitely look forward to y'all coming on even more, chopping it up with us, and allowing us to grow the podcast and grow with y'all, man. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. We love y'all, beautiful people. Tori,
Put in the
good,
comments.
dog?
Put in the comments if Steph Curry is a killer or not. Put in the comments right now if you think Steph Curry is a killer or not a killer. We're taking a poll.
Yeah,
Man,
we'll
I ain't
take a
gonna
vote.
lie.
Doesn't mean you make a lot of threes in a game. It means you get the job done at the end of the game.
Indeed, I heard. Oh, sorry.
Nah, you
I think
good.
they're misconstrued by what a killer is. Can we get the definition what a killer actually is?
What's
See,
good,
now we need to no definition.
Man, come on, man. Don't start this.
No definition.
Y'all put the definition out
Yeah,
there.
he can be
I'm
savage.
good.
Don't mean
Killer
he's a
or
killer.
not. Killer or no killer. That's all I need to know.
Not a killer.
It's been real.
That boy ain't caught no
Sad to
homage.
say, but he's not a
It ain't
killer.
matter.
Imagine watching
That boy ain't
Halloween
caught none.
H2O or watching some movie, Jason, Michael Myers, and they go through the entire movie holding a knife, but they never kill. Darnell, tell them what it is. Tell them that coon slogan of yours. What is it, Darnell?
At the end of the day, man, a killer is a person when it's clutch time, they get the job done. It does not mean they can blow you out. It does not mean they can go on like streaks of shooting the ball. It means when, everything's on the
This
line,
nigga-
they consistently and often get the job done.
It's not murder.
No.
It's what?
No. See, y'all
Attempted
said
murder.
he's not a killer
Murder.
because he kill you all 3 quarters.
And-
He kill you all 3 quarters, and the 4th quarter is like,
Sedacious. That analogy is
He's
dead
50.
gone.
He's
Not
50
true.
That
Cent.
That's
analogy
not
is
true.
like you
Let the
laid the
person
bed.
try to kill 50 Cent, bro.
Love you, beautiful
Shot him
people.
9
We
times.
will love y'all, beautiful people. We'll see y'all next week, man. Thank y'all for tuning in on the live. More episodes like this to come.